Assalamu alaikum students. Today the topic of discussion is the muscles of face and neck. Muscles of the face. Now many muscles are involved in changing the facial expression and with movement of the lower jaw during chewing and speaking. Now we will discuss the only the main muscles in this lecture, and these are, as you can see here, these are paired muscles. Most of them are paired except one muscle. So the facial muscles, they are grouped. Now muscles which are present in the forehead, then muscles around the orbital muscle group. Here you can see the nasal muscle group, the oral muscle group, and the cheek muscle group, and the lower jaw muscles around the lower jaw. So you can see the various types of muscles, various groups of muscles are present which are performing different functions. So in the forehead muscle group includes the occipitofrontalis muscle. In the orbital muscle group includes the levator palpebrae superioris, orbicularis oculi. In the cheek group, oral muscle group, upper group, here you can see these are the buccinators, the zygomaticus muscles, the orbicularis oris. Now these zygomaticus muscles, these are also included in muscles of smiling. And then the lower jaw muscles which pull the lip down, and the muscles of mastication, they are not shown here. Muscles, no, this is the masseter, this is the temporalis, muscles of mastication, which help which produce movement of the lower jaw during chewing and speaking. Occipitofrontalis muscle, this is this consists of posterior part over the frontal bone, the occipitalis muscle. Here you can see the posterior part, occipitalis, and an anterior part over the frontal bone, that is the frontalis muscle. Now this is an unpaired muscle, and an extensive flat, it is attached to an extensive flat tendon or aponeurosis that stretches over the dome of the skull. So you can see here, this is the aponeurosis. So the fibers of the occipitalis muscle, they are rising from the bone and are attached to the aponeurosis here anteriorly, and the frontalis muscle also rising from the bone and inserting into the aponeurosis. Now, what is the function of this muscle? This raises the eyebrows. So it produces the frowning on the forehead. Orbicularis oculi, this muscle surrounds the eye, eyelid, and orbital cavity. Now, it has got two parts, the orbital part and the palpebral part. So orbital part surrounds the orbital bone, the bones forming the orbital margin, and the palpebral part is the inner part. So it surrounds the eye, and its action is to close the eye. Now when strongly contracted, the it screws up the eye. You can see here, screwing up the eye. Levator palpebrae superioris muscle. This muscle extends from the posterior part of the orbital cavity to the upper eyelid. So here you can see this is extending from the posterior part of the orbit and inserting into the anterior um, tissue, that is the eyelid, upper eyelid. Now the function of this muscle is to raise the upper eyelid. So in opening of the eyes, the levator palpebrae superioris muscle acts. So it is also considered as the extraocular muscles of the eye. We will discuss it again when we will study the structure of the eyeball. Buccinator muscle. Now this flat muscle of the cheek draws the cheeks in towards the teeth in chewing movements and in forcible expulsion of the air from the mouth. So forcible expulsion from the mouth. So it's so this muscle acts in blowing air into the in the mouth. Orbicularis oris, again it is an unpaired muscle. You can see here it is present around the mouth, and it surrounds the mouth and blends with the muscles of the cheek. It closes the lips, and when strongly contracted shapes the mouth for whistling. So it closes the lips. Main action is we close the mouth by orbicularis oris muscle. Now masseter, temporalis and pterygoids. These are the muscles of mastication, means the chewing movements. The chewing movements. Now masseter is a broad muscle extending from the zygomatic arch to the angle of jaw. So you can see here this is the masseter, and it is a broad muscle which is extending from the zygomatic arch to the angle of the mandible. And in chewing it draws the mandible up to the maxilla. So it closes the mouth, closing the jaw, and exerts considerable pressure on the food. So it helps in chewing. Temporalis muscle, this covers the squamous part of the temporal bone. So you can see here this is the temporalis muscle, and it is covering the squamous part of the temporal bone. It passes behind the zygomatic arch and to be inserted into the coronoid process of the mandible. So it arises from the temporal fossa of the temporal bone, and it is inserted into the coronoid process of the mandible. It closes the mouth and assists with chewing. So pterygoid, last are the pterygoid muscles. So you can see here they are lying deep inside the lateral pterygoid. These are two muscles, lateral pterygoid and medial pterygoid. Now these muscles extend from the sphenoid bone to the mandible, and it closes the mouth and pull the lower jaw forward. So these muscles, they act in the chewing movements and the opening and the closing of jaw, and these are known as muscles of mastication. The rest of the muscles of the face are known as muscles of facial expressions, because these muscles produces expressions on our face. Muscles of the neck. There are many muscles in the neck, but only the two muscles, the largest ones we will discuss here. The sternocleidomastoid muscle and the trapezius muscle. So sternocleidomastoid muscle arises from the manubrium of the sternum and the clavicle, and extends upwards in the mastoid process of the temporal bone. So it is arising from the sternum and the clavicle and inserting into the mastoid process of the temporal bone, and these are paired muscles. Now it assists in turning the head from side to side. When the muscle on one side contracts, it draws the head towards the shoulder. So it draws the head towards the shoulder. I will show you in the picture. When both contract at the same time, they flex the cervical vertebra or draw the sternum and clavicle upwards when the head is maintained in a fixed position. That is in forced respiration. So this muscle also assists in respiration. It is a muscle of accessory muscle of respiration also. And trapezius, this muscle covers the shoulder and the back of the neck. The upper attachment is to the occipital protuberance. The medial attachment is to the transverse process of the cervical and thoracic vertebrae, and the lateral attachment is to the clavicle and to the spinous and acromion process of scapula. It pulls the head backwards, that is, it extends the head backwards, and it squares the shoulders and control the movement of scapula when the shoulder joint is in use. You can see here, this is the sternocleidomastoid muscle, and it is arising from the sternum and the clavicle. It has got two heads, the sternal head and the clavicular head, and it is inserting into the mastoid process of the temporal bone. And this is the trapezius muscle covering the back, and it extends the head.